mow, trim, we might prune trees, or we might do bigger projects like excavating or clear out an area that got overgrown to maybe make it look nicer. Miss Warner, she's always watching of how well you can do, and she always sees what your struggles are, and if she sees you struggling with something, she'll personally come up and help you with your struggle. Being in landscaping, it's almost required for us to be in FFA, and we go on like field trips with community service that we go out and like help a community. Like we might plant trees, and we also do competitions about like landscape plants, pests, and weeds. I also came first out of maybe like 15 people and qualified for regionals.
We worked on the cafeteria walkway, the one that was put in last school year, between the tent outside and the lunchroom. We basically dug out the base, dug out drainage, we put gravel down. Austin was like a leader by example because he was getting everything done, and when a lot of people weren't really feeling the work, when they seen him do it, then they started picking up and started working hard at it too, and we all got it done.
Seeing the pathway complete makes me proud, and knowing that I've done something for the school. I have a lot more plant knowledge, I understand more vocab, and it's also given me certificates like OSHA 10, Greeniest, which gives me certificates on like the equipment. When I learned I was student of the month, I was shocked at first, and then I was appreciative of my teacher because she sees how well I can do.
Currently in medical, we are doing autoclave, which is basically where we take all of the surgical instruments that we will be using in our procedures, and we get to wrap them up and clean them, and then wrap them up again, and then put them into the autoclave. It gave me a lot of insight on all of like the medical terminology that I need to know going into it. It also gave me a kind of like a guide of where I want to go specifically in the medical field. Since it's so big, you know, you can kind of like narrow down what you actually want to do. So tech really helped me figure out what I want to do. We do a lot of partner work, and we have the technology to be able to have a mannequin that can have an amputated leg and that can bleed, and we can help try to stop the bleed and help us have a hands-on experience. Especially when you're 4 years here at Tech, you get to like have stronger bonds, especially with people that are in your shop, because you're all going through the same things and you all have the same test that's coming up, or y'all all know the same like terminology or anything like that. So you go to each of these people and you get to bond with them more, and then you become like this small little family that's really great to have.
Yasmine is very positive, very helpful, very determined onto what she wants to do, and very like in tune with learning about medical. I think she's going to be very focused and determined in college to get her BSN, and then later go into either labor and delivery or pediatric or nutrition, because she likes that a lot.
We've had a lot of different teachers over the past couple years, and all of them have been very hands-on with us, and they take the time to make sure we understand what we're doing, so that when we do go out to like the real world and we're doing these vital signs that are very vital on these patients and stuff like that, that we understand what we're doing and we're doing them correctly. When I found out I was Student of the Month, I got really excited because it was something that I really wanted. I really wanted to see what it was like now that we do all this other stuff for Student of the Month. I wanted to be a part of it and see what it was like.
Every A-Day, I leave the building for centers. I work with second graders. I help 2 students with their morning work. I help them with their math boxes, keep them on task. Today's like my first time reading to them, so gathered some questions to ask them, like pulling their math lessons into what I'm reading.
David?
1,000 times 1,000.
Why did they do so much? That'd be a million.
So like they'll raise their hand and like they'll ask me when their teacher's helping other students, which really is like sticks to me because I know that they trust me. I bond with them a lot. Like second grade was hard for me, so I know how it feels sometimes with like the difficulty between first and third grade. I've had a lot of experience with babysitting with my cousin who's also in the program with me. Back in 8th grade, I was really starting to look at like what I could do in my career path and like where I wanted to go. And when York Tech came to Northeastern, they mentioned the early childhood program. It really spoke to me that it was the place for me.
Chipmunk climbs out of her burrow. It is time to get to work.
Dr. Pirro has really pushed me to be the best of myself. So we're keeping goals for me to achieve while I'm at my center. And my teacher at my center has really seen improvement. I was getting the education that I need for going out into the field and actually working with kids. After graduation, I want to go to college. I'm not sure where yet, and then become a second grade teacher with my bachelor's degree. Being a student of the month means to me that my teachers really saw that I had potential in what I wanted to do.
So right now I'm working on a masonry project. I have to make a 3-course wall, but it has to have an L built into it. We had to use these like small little joint blocks to connect in between to make the L. One of the projects that I really enjoyed working on was probably last year. We were working on a baseball field. We had to tear down the roofs and redo them. The brick was breaking apart. We fixed the brick and we put a different kind of roof on top. I really like the way that Sable has been able to teach me. He finds a way to get me around my obstacles, and he just helps me really thrive above where I thought that I could be. Earlier this year, I could not figure out how to do a rafter, and he managed to show me in a way to where I could understand it better, because before I was trying to do it like everybody else. I could not figure it out. Well, my head doesn't like to comprehend things quite like everybody else, so it makes it more difficult sometimes. He helped me around my obstacle, and then on top of that, he'll show me my progress.
Very hardworking, doesn't give up very easily, open to new ideas and ways to do things.
With the construction skills, even if I wanted to stay in construction, which would be hard because it's something that I really love, the knowledge that I know I could actually use just in general in my life, like plumbing. I don't have to call a plumber anymore, I know how to do it. When I was told that I was going to be a student of the month, it really surprised me. I never really thought I'd get this accomplishment.